So, welcome in Hiroshima, another city in Japan. Hiroshima, very known for the 1945 atomic disaster. Start a little bit with some info. This is a bridge that was built, well, not in this style. It was first a wooden bridge, 1589. It was to transport and, a connection between the north and south bank for people to move to the other side. In 1926, it was built in the style you see today. And in 1943, the government ordered in Japan during the war to collect all available metals. Actually, they claimed it. Even private-owned metal had to be given to the government in order to use it to make weapons, etc. for the war. So they removed all the metal, and then 1945, the atomic disaster, when an atomic bomb exploded above Hiroshima and destroyed the city. The bridge was in pretty good state because the atomic bomb destroyed a lot, but things that were strong like bridges and concrete survived in a way. And to commemorate all the tragedy happened, and also this bridge, which is one of the most historical bridges, as you can imagine, 1589, they refurbished and renovated this bridge in 2011 to the style it was same in 1926. So, just so you know. And we're going to further explore the city today. So Japan is not only super structured, super disciplined in a way, but not only super clean. There is literally no litter on the ground. Even the rivers in the cities are clean. You can see in the bottom. And obviously I saw fishes and now they're not there. There were some big ones, 30-40 centimeters I think. Hey, that looks like a shrine. It's a kind of holy place, a temple maybe. Good, let's go on. Hiroshima is in fact a very historical city. This is a part of the fortress, which goes all the way around here, and was built in 1590s, and got destroyed as well in 1945. In 1958 they rebuilt the castle in its original style, according to pictures and historical maps. And we are actually not so far from the site of impact, which is basically just across the tower there. But we will go there later. First we're gonna explore this castle and have a little walk over there. Ugh, just a tree, you would say. A big one. Do not forget, there was the atomic disaster here in 1945, which means if it comes to nature, trees died. This one miraculously survived the disaster. One of them. But most trees here in town are replanted, so they're pretty young. Yeah. What is a nice thing about this tree? You take one of the leaves, those leaves, then you crumble it apart and you rub it in your hands, and then you will have a lovely smell. Eucalyptus tree. That's the castle of Hiroshima. Also here a reconstruction. It's similar to the one in Osaka, with a viewing point. So this is how Hiroshima looked like in the history. As far as I understood, they already lived here since the 8th century. Some rich families, powerful and influential families moved here. They started to carve the land. And Hiroshima and the bay at the seaside was one of the 5 islands that was very well for cultivation of several different products. And we are now there, and we walked all the way here. There. Here's the street now. And that's where we're going, this island. So it has been a climb, but here we are. So I saw inside in the museum that literally everything here, even the old castle, all the compounds, at the time of war, this island was a military compound working 10,000 military soldiers, and not even counted the city itself. But on this island here, there was a military compound. 10,000 soldiers died instantly during the blast. And the blast happened over there. And there you see the world famous building that got left in the state after the blast. But it's a pretty immense view. It's interesting to see that Hiroshima is same like Osaka, surrounded by mountains. And here we are, slowly arriving on the memorial site. So we are now at the back of the building, but we will move to the front. This is the place to enter. On the morning of August 6th, 1945, Harry Truman, US President, ordered to bomb Hiroshima, the first atomic bomb ever used in human history, here in Hiroshima. The American B-29 bomber, that was the plane, passed Hiroshima on a very big height and dropped the bomb. On 600 meters in the air, it exploded, devastating this whole city at once. Everyone that lived here instantly got instantly killed. The bomb exploded 600 meters in the air and 160 meters southeast of this famous building, somewhere over there. Why there is nothing standing here and only this building is standing here? This was, during the war or before the war, the main exhibition hall of Hiroshima. So a very important place. And when the bomb exploded, it exploded exactly here above. So it was the epicenter, and the explosion grew like a mushroom above the air, which everything around got completely destroyed, except this area, which got destroyed, but less, because it was the epicenter where it was relatively calm. The bomb exploded outwards. So that's why the dome of this building is still standing and was not destroyed. The rest of the building obviously is. Until today, Hiroshima has been rebuilt and everything has been rebuilt here in the area on the bank of the river, except this building. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site to remember the atomic bombing. The atom bomb was called Little Boy, and it was not the only atomic bomb that was dropped, because 3 days later Harry Truman, the US president again, ordered to bomb Nagasaki, and that bomb was even stronger. That bomb was called Fat Boy or Fat Man. So we had Little Boy here and Fat Man in Nagasaki. In Nagasaki it was more on the seaside, had less impact, but a lot of military power got destroyed. And here, why they dropped it on Hiroshima? Hiroshima was an economical center of Japan during the war and military center. There was a lot of military over here, like a military hub. The same in Nagasaki on the seaside. Now the question is why they dropped the bomb, this atomic bomb, on Hiroshima. Yes, so the question is why US dropped the atomic bomb on Japan in August 1945. It was known but secret. It was secretly decided that the Soviet Union wanted to join the war against Japan. The Japanese had too much power during the war in this Southeast or Asia in general. And they took over many countries in the war and became dangerous for the Americans. The Americans wanted in the same time to show the Russians their military power in Asia. So 3 things combined: show the power of the military in Asia, Japanese that got too powerful, and the Soviet that wanted to fight against the Japanese, and the Americans wanted to show their power here. So they decided to drop this bomb here, and actually to force Japan to surrender and stop. After Nagasaki, I read that they did surrender, but not in general. One thing needs to be known: it was not Americans' intention, that's the word, intention to destroy Japan, the culture or the people. It was to destroy Japanese military power. Therefore, after the war ended, it was the US again that helped Japan to rebuild their city. All the people that lived here or were still alive in the area or wanted to move to Hiroshima got jobs to help to build up the city again. And today it's a very big city, modern and alive. Lots of universities, students. But you can imagine what happened here. I'm sitting here on the bank. You see, that's my shadow. Just looking at this building and just closing my eyes, looking at the sky and thinking that plane that passed by in 1945, like those birds. Wow, what a timing. Thanks, guys. And dropped that thing above Hiroshima. And when it exploded, and I sit here now, and if that would happen now, I will be dead in a fraction of a second, maybe a billionth of a second. Just to imagine yourself. Now let's go further to this island here, to the park, where are a lot of things to see which are commemorating the disaster. For those afraid of radiation and stuff, it's completely safe. The beauty of an air atomic bomb is that it spread it away. It just blasted the city out. So there's basically no more radiation than in any other big city. The reason why the Japanese got so powerful during the war is that America was on that moment very much focused on Europe, the Germans, the spread of Hitler around and across Europe. That's why when the focus was there, it was relatively calmer in Asia, gave the Japanese the opportunities to take over, control, which disturbed then at the end the Americans, and that's why this result came. Although it was known that Americans, a day before the disaster, dropped leaflets to ask civilians to leave Hiroshima, still many people died, tens of thousands. And as I'm here in Japan, and to offer a bit of respect, I will sound the bell. As I mentioned earlier, the bomb got dropped above Hiroshima, 160 meters southeast of the memorial, the place, which is over there. And I found the exact coordinates, so let's go there and check if there's anything to see. So here it happened. Exactly above this point, 600 meters above the spot. The bomb got dropped by the B-29 bomber. And just imagine yourself, this city was exposed to temperatures of approximately 3,000 to 4,000 degrees, as well as a blast wind that really devastated everything at once. Most people in the area lost their life instantly, as I mentioned. The time was 8:15 a.m. August 6, 1945. Hiroshima today, just on the edge of the epicenter. So if you're spending most of your holidays in busy cities, there's nothing nicer than making a stroll in a park, museum park, to have some relaxation. So I will try to show you some beautiful scenery. Are the fishes in the water drinking water? That's interesting. Imagine you're in Japan. It was a very beautiful, warm day, but it's slowly getting dark and it's getting fresh. And what is better than going to those machines, throw some money in. Yeah, I know, old style, doesn't matter. Click the button and a lovely warm tea comes out. I mean, I love it. I really love it. So, as I have arrived today in Hiroshima, showing you around, starting at the bridge over there with the historical bridge. It is now time to go back and say goodbye to Hiroshima. No, I wasn't looking at the street. I bow down, as that's the way people greet in Japan, and saying arigato. Otanimasu. Ciao, Hiroshima. It has been nice. I'm going back, taking the train to Osaka. Hope you enjoyed the video. and good luck.